Hello everybody, this is Austin Andrews from ADHDanswers.org, which is the website that will teach you behavioral tips and strategies, easy to implement strategies that you can use to help better manage and teach your child with ADHD symptoms. I want to thank you for checking out this video series. Hopefully you're finding a lot of value in this and things that are easy for you to implement in your busy lives. So today what I want to talk about was a very important issue and often a very scary issue for many parents, and that is dealing with education in school and your child's success and whether or not a special education evaluation is appropriate or not. So we get this question all the time in our school district, and this is regarding, does my child need special education? Oftentimes we see children who have ADHD symptoms who are not performing up to their potential and who have behaviors such as not being able to focus in class, they're inattentive, or they're very impulsive, which interferes with not only their education but that of the other students around them. But first of all, one of the things that you need to keep in mind as a parent, that one of the most important things you can do is to maintain consistent communication with your child's teacher. While both of you are constantly monitoring the progress, and if you do that, it's much easier to be on the same page, and also as you develop behavioral goals and strategies, it's easier to keep up with that across different settings, and especially it helps the child to make faster progress if the same rules are in place at home and at school. So that's something that you can talk to your teacher about, and I'm sure it seems like a very obvious thing, but it's very frequently overlooked. So if you're already doing that, then that is great. If you're not, then just make sure that that's something that you keep in mind. One thing you can do, first of all, if you're not doing that, is go to your teacher and ask them some questions. Better late than never, to start on a plan. First thing you could ask is my child performing at grade level? Are they meeting grade level expectations in their subjects? Are they meeting the benchmarks for reading and math or whatever it is? So another thing you could ask is there symptoms of ADHD such as inattention, lack of focus, impulsive behavior, or hyperactivity? Are those behaviors interfering consistently, daily, with their educational performance? So their ability to complete just routine classroom assignments and routine things that you all do. If that is the case with your child, then your child's teacher and you can develop a plan that can include organizational aids, behavior contracts, and even in some cases modifying some of the assignments that your child does, and even test situations that may help your child be able to focus better and complete those tasks that are so important. And often these general education interventions are successful enough. However, if these interventions clearly are not successful, you do all this consistently, you have a plan in place, modifications are happening, and you're still not seeing progress, then you may want to consider a more formal evaluation, and which would involve special education teacher, school psychologist, your child's teachers, who could also give some critical input. And in many cases, children who are evaluated, it does not mean that they have to receive special education, but sometimes it is worth doing just to see strengths and weaknesses, as well as seeing the results of the behavior plan. Just putting all the pieces together to get as much information as you can to get a big picture of your child performance and to help identify weaknesses or maybe some areas that need working on. And for the children who do qualify for special education, it usually falls under the area of health impaired for those who have ADHD, and the key component of that is that the condition has to adversely affect your child's educational performance consistently enough over a long enough period of time. So if that's the case, they'll usually carry with it, usually will require a doctor's diagnosis. The school is not allowed to make that diagnosis since it is considered to be a medical diagnosis. So, and for kids who do qualify under the area of health impairment, usually in many cases they will be placed in an inclusion setting, and which means that there's usually more than one teacher in the classroom, and that additional support will allow your child to be reminded of directions more often, will be prompted more often if they're off task, and also accommodations can be made for testing situations, especially on the state and district assessments that are so important at the end of each school year. So, but first though, we encourage you to try the behavior interventions in the regular education setting. We would like to see every child have a chance to succeed with just general modifications. Then, if they're clearly not successful, then at least consider a more formal evaluation. So, we hope this helps you a little bit. We hope this helps ease some of the concern and apprehension you may have. We know this is a very important issue, and many parents find it difficult to talk about and approach the school about. So, don't be afraid. Just go ahead. If that's a concern of yours, it never hurts to ask about it. So, we want to thank you for logging on and watching this video. We encourage you to check back to our website, adhdanswers.org, frequently. Check our blog for updates, interesting findings in the world of ADHD intervention. As well as we encourage you to sign up for our newsletter. It's totally free, and it will give you weekly tips and strategies and ideas that you can use, usually easy to implement ideas that you can do at home immediately, that we think will really benefit you and your child as you manage the ADHD symptoms. So again, thank you, and we will see you next time.